Here we go. Recording my first episode. Woo! Podcast episode. A woman worth healing. All right, let's do this. Let's dive in. Hello, everyone. I am so glad that you're here with me today. Today is, as I'm recording right now, is January 9th, 2022. I had to stop and think about that because 2022, what year are we in again? It's insane. I can't believe we're here in 2022 already. These years are just flying by, especially these past couple of years in the pandemic has flown by so quickly for me. And I would thought that it would drag out for me because everything is changing around us. But no, it's actually flying by pretty quickly. I can't believe we're about to hit 2 years into this pandemic. And yeah, it's crazy. So it's January 9th, 2022, and this is my very first podcast episode. I can't believe that you're here with me. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you for listening, because if you're listening to this podcast right now and watching it on YouTube right now, it means that you are here right now because you are ready to start making new and positive changes in your life to start your healing process. You are done letting your autoimmune disease or chronic illness stop you from living your life. You're like, no more, no more. I've had enough. I'm going to start listening to my body and give my body what it needs to heal so that I can live my life to the fullest. I don't have to schedule my life around my disease and whether or not I have enough energy to get out of bed, have enough energy just to do normal daily tasks, or if my body is going to be in extreme pain, and I can't do my normal activities. You're done with this. This is not what you came to Earth for. This is not the life that you know you are worth having. And you're here seeking out ideas on how you can move forward and start healing so that you can show up in this world as your best self. This is a mantra that I like to say to myself when it's to myself, but also to my higher power. And I say this after each gratitude prayer that I say each day. And I say so that I could show up in this world as my best self for the good of all and for the good of myself. And that helps remind me every day that it's important why I'm making these positive lifestyle changes. It's not easy to make these changes and to really be mindful of what we choose for our life, what we do every day. It's not easy, but it's worth it. And it's a nice reminder for me that what I'm doing for myself is not just for myself. It is for everyone around me. Because if I can take care of myself and be my best self, no one has to worry about me. Because I got it. I got it. You don't need to worry about me. And if everyone could do that for themselves, no one has to worry about them. Because we got this. We do. We can do this. And it's a lot easier when you surround yourself with people who are doing it as well and can model for you. So, this is the purpose of the whole reason why I've decided to develop this podcast is for people like you and I who want to make changes and are making changes in our lives that is promoting our healing. We are healing from our autoimmune diseases and are becoming the better version of ourselves. And it's not easy doing it. And it's definitely not easy doing it on our own. So, developing this podcast and connections with you and surrounding yourself with more people who have the same goal as you helps keep you motivated and guided on the right path. So, throughout my episodes, I will have guests who will give you a little bit of their wisdom and ideas of what they've done to help with their healing process. And it's so exciting to be able to connect with other people on this podcast, to bring them onto this podcast so that you guys could be exposed to them as well and learn more. And it's exciting on my part because I get to have great conversations with these wonderful people who are either experts or who are on their healing journey, just like you and I. So this is a very exciting time for me to be doing this podcast, and I hope it's an exciting time for you, because if this helps you shift into that momentum to keep making right choices that supports your body so that you can heal, that is my highest hope for you. And it is something that I'm very, very passionate about. It's been a journey for me, to say the least. But I could tell you that what I've done in the past has got me here today, and I'm feeling so much better than I did when I was in my 20s. Right now, as I'm recording, I'm 40 years old. I'm 40 years old. Can't believe I'm that old. But I feel better now that I'm 40 than I did when I was in my 20s. I feel better in my body. I feel happier. I could see that the people around me, like I was stating before, as I start to become my better self, everybody benefits, not just because they don't have to take care of me or worry about me, but it's because I could see a shift in them. When you surround yourself around people who are happy and doing purposeful things, you start to feel that energy, you start to feel that inspiration, and that shifts your vibrations into a higher vibration of more happiness. And I really, really do believe in that, because I see that. Not only do I see that with my family, but I see it in my interactions with other people. I could see that. And I even had someone, excuse me, sorry. I even had someone point that out to me. She's like, yeah, Therminda, I really do see you in a different light. I could see that it is just this new you is coming up from you, this better part of you. That wasn't her exact words, but basically that's what she's saying. So yeah. So now that it's the new year, this is the time of year that a lot of people set like intentions or New Year's resolutions, and it kind of teeters out, right? So, but this is the season for New Year's resolutions. And why not have a resolution for a new you, a new positive you, to get that ball rolling so that you see that future you that you seek out. Now, I'm here to tell you that I did not start my healing journey yesterday. It's been years, and I'm still healing. My masterpiece, my life, the better part of me is never complete. I'm still adding on to my masterpiece every single day. Every single day I step in to a better version of myself. And there will be days when you don't feel your best, and there's going to be obstacles that you face. That is just part of life. And when you go into this, when you go into this healing process, knowing these expectations, when those days do come, you're going to be like, there it is. There's those days where I don't feel my best, but I know tomorrow or the next day, I'm going to feel better again. It's not going to last forever, because what I'm doing right now is supporting myself, supporting my body so that it can heal. Right now, you might be having those days, more days where you don't feel well and you don't feel like yourself, and it's not where you want to be. But if you keep showing up for yourself and doing things that promote your healing, as time goes by, you're going to have less and less of those days and more days of feeling better and feeling positive about yourself. So I decided to start this podcast. I need to plug in my computer because my battery is dying. So sorry for that, for not being prepared for that. But I'm going to tell you a little bit more about my journey and my story of why I'm here today talking to you. I'm going to tell you that in my next episode. So right now, we're going to be discussing things to get you started in this new year to become the better version of yourself. So earlier, I kind of went off on a tangent. So I was talking about New Year's resolutions, and why not make this New Year's resolution a resolution to become the better version of yourself. And I'm going to leave you with 6 simple steps that you can take today to move you towards your optimal health, to get you going in this process. Now, mind you, waiting to the new year to make changes is not necessary. Making changes anytime is the best time, is the right time to make these changes. But since it is the new year, why not use it as extra motivation? So, to start you off right, here are your 6 simple steps to help with your optimal health, to start healing from your autoimmune disease, to get you on your autoimmune healing journey. And I say simple because I don't want to get you overwhelmed. And these 6 steps are not steps for you to take all at once. It's going to be baby steps. You want baby steps. You want to take baby steps when it comes to making positive, lasting lifestyle changes, because you want it to be lasting. You don't want to do it all at once and get overwhelmed and then not do it at all. or get frustrated or create extra stress in your body, because we don't want to create extra stress in your body, because that stress is what's perpetuating this festering, this disease within your body. And we don't want that extra stress. So when it comes to these simple steps, keep in mind that you get to choose which one you want to start with, or you could choose another step that I don't even mention, as long as it's promoting your health. And a simple way to decide if something you should choose is going to be good for your health or not is to ask yourself the question, how would a healthy person make this choice? And when you think of that, that kind of helps guide you into what is the best choice for you to make. So let's just dive in and let me share these 6 simple steps. Ooh, it's almost a tongue twister. I have to say that slowly, all these S's. So step number 1, and it's not in any particular order, but step number 1 is eat a nutrient-dense diet, a whole food diet. Now, diet, the word diet may be a trigger for people. And I don't really care for that word to use as a diet, because it really isn't a diet, like a diet plan. It is a diet in the way, meaning that it is the way that you're going to eat. It is a lifestyle. It's not a diet fad. It is a lifestyle. It's a way that you're going to maintain yourself for the rest of your life. So eating a nutrient-dense diet is eating food that nature has provided for you. Try to stay away from foods that have been altered by man. These foods include GMOs, processed foods, and sugar, especially processed sugar. The body doesn't recognize these foods, these processed foods, because GMO means genetically modified organism. It is food that has been altered by man to suit their needs. So for instance, like farmers may modify their crops so that either bugs don't eat it or they want it to have a longer shelf life. And when that happens, your body doesn't recognize that food anymore, and it causes inflammation in the body. We don't want to eat anything that creates any extra inflammation in the body, because your chronic illness is inflammation in your body. So we don't want to add on more. We want to calm the body down. So inflammation has its place. There's a reason why the body creates inflammation. Acute inflammation, for example, is healthy. Acute meaning short-term. Chronic inflammation, meaning long-term inflammation, is not what you want. So the acute inflammation happens in the body because there's an area of the body that needs help and needs to heal. So it sends nutrients and through blood, and part of your immune system goes to that site too to clean everything up so that it can repair itself. So having that swollenness, that inflammation, is good at that time. But if that inflammation is there 24/7, like it is for us, for you and I with autoimmune diseases, your body is constantly trying to clean up and repair your body, and it starts creating tissue damage. And that's not what we want. So basically, a whole food diet is eating vegetables, organic whenever possible. Clean sources of meat, or I'm sorry, clean sources of protein. That would be meat, fish, plant-based protein, and a limited amount of fruit, because fruit does have sugar, and too much sugar is not good for you. Humans aren't really supposed to eat fruit all year round, and not the amount of fruit that we do need. It has to be a balance. Everything is a balance, to keep that balance within your body. So when it comes to organic vegetables, we all know that it can be pretty pricey and it's hard on the wallet. And it's not always easy to always buy organic. And an easy tip for you to use is a list developed by the EWG. They're the Environmental Working Group. And they develop a list every year of, it's called the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. So they're two different lists. And I'll have a link for you in the show notes, and on YouTube, I'll have it in the description for you to click on so you can receive this list. And this list helps guide you on what produce would be best for you to get organic and what would be a little bit better not getting organic if you cannot purchase all organic. So basically, it's the Dirty Dozen is a list of 12 items that have the most highest pesticides involved when they go to take it in their labs and see how much actually is in that food that's on that list. So that's what I like to use when I'm shopping. So for instance, strawberries is number 1 on the Dirty Dozen list. And that has been like that for the past couple of years. So when I go to the store, I do not buy strawberries that are not organic. I stay away from that. And if the organic strawberries are pretty expensive, which usually happens, we just don't get strawberries. I just move on to something else. So that helps guide me on which produce is okay for me to get that's not organic, just so I could save some money. And the Clean 15 is the list of foods that have the least amount of pesticides. So with the Clean 15, that'll be the produce that I typically would buy that's not organic. So it's a really good group. I would highly recommend checking out the EWG. They are their own organization. They get money to do what they're doing from people like you and I. So they don't work for like a government organization that could dictate their results. They're here to give us real, truthful information. So that information will be there for you to go ahead and take a look at, maybe download it, have it with you if you feel like you can't remember what's on the list. And it's important to check every year because they do update it every year because different things happen. So yeah, so go ahead and you could use that helpful tip. So number 1 was eating a whole food diet. This is something that I find a lot of people, including myself, that's what we started with when we started our healing journey. We started with food because food is medicine. And not only that, I find that food is tangible. We know food. We deal with food every single day of our lives. So we're comfortable with food. So I feel like it's an easier transition to start with food. Of course, not everybody starts with food, and that's something that you don't have to start with if you don't want to. You choose what is easiest for you so that you actually start making changes. That's the whole point, is just starting somewhere and doing it and finding ways to support yourself so that you can keep doing it. It is sustainable. So, tip number 2 is prioritizing your sleep and relaxation. The body repairs itself when you are sleeping. So, if you're not getting well rest, your body cannot fully heal. So, it's important for you to be mindful of the amount of sleep that you're getting, but not only the amount of sleep, it's the quality of sleep that you are getting. It is important to get about 7 to 8 hours of sleep each night. And some doctors recommend for people with autoimmune diseases to get more sleep. So they may recommend 8 to 10 hours of sleep per night. And you'll find different information out there, but that's pretty much like the average. But this is to properly support our bodies so that we can start the healing process. It is a great way to support our bodies. So, a good way to improve our health, our sleep, a good way to improve our sleep, like I was just saying, it is the quantity, but most importantly, it's the quality. So, to get that quality sleep, you can start. A good way to do that is by creating a good circadian rhythm in the body. Now, the circadian rhythm is your body's sleep cycle. It lets your body knows when it's time to wake up and when it's time to sleep. So, to set a good, healthy circadian rhythm, you could start by going to bed earlier and waking up earlier, because that's where the healthy circadian rhythm lies. That's how human beings were set up. That's how like we lived in the beginning. So it's going back to how our bodies are made, how to support our body is understanding what it needs and going back to how people used to live is a good idea to help guide you. When it comes to relaxation, your body is able to calm down and allow your energy resources to focus on the natural functions of your body. Like, for instance, your digestion, so that you can properly absorb your food. If you can't fully relax and calm your body down, your body cannot digest and absorb food properly, because especially nowadays, the way that our culture is, how society is set up, we're constantly go, 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 go. And we're constantly in this chronic state of stress. And that state of stress is that fight or flight state, and that's called the sympathetic state. That's part of our nervous system. And that part of our nervous system is there to keep us protected. So it's always on a heightened awareness, alertness of danger. It's waiting for the ball to drop. And it puts all of our resources, our body's energy resources, into preparing ourselves to be able to fight off an attacker, or flee, run from danger. And there's no other energy left for you to sleep properly or digest your food properly, because your body is always heightened and awake, looking for danger. So getting that extra sleep, doing things that promote your relaxation to calm your body down, gets you out of that stress response and into that rest and digest response, so that your normal bodily functions start working at optimal level. So I'm talking about stress right now. So to help reduce stress, when I say do things that promote relaxation, so you could go sit down and relax or something, it does not mean watching TV, being on your phone or computer, any kind of screen time that does not count as relaxation because there's many reasons, and I'll give you 4 of them. Number 1, blue light. The blue light that emits from your screen signals it signals messages to your circadian rhythm that it is daytime and it's time to be awake. Now that's, fine and dandy during the day, but when nighttime comes, your body is confused and doesn't know that it's time for bed when you're ready to go to bed. So that might be some reasons why you're having problems falling asleep. 2, your mind and body believes what you see. So for instance, if you're watching a movie or you're reading a feed on Facebook and it is negative information, your body believes what you're reading and what you are seeing, and it responds to it. Just think of it like a scary movie or an intense movie that you've watched. Think about how your muscles start to tense up, your heart rate starts to beat, and your breathing starts to change a little bit when you're watching these scary or intense movies. Like a scary, something jumps out at you in a scary scene, you're like, your body thinks it's real. It thinks it's real. And so you are shifting your body into that heightened state of stress, of danger, and your body does not feel safe enough to calm down. Not only that, number 3, you are not present. You are not in the present moment when you're using all these distractions to distract you from yourself, which is number 4. You're distracting you from yourself. So being in the present moment and being with yourself is a good practice to have to start to get to know yourself, get to know the different responses in your body to help support yourself and know what you need. Sometimes the emotions are just too hard for you to sit with yourself. And that's when you could seek out help from someone who specializes in traumas and these really, really deep emotions that are really hard for you to address. But it's important that you do address these traumas, these emotions, because they always stay with you forever if you do not address it. But once you address it and learn how to release it, it's out of your body and your body is no longer responding to that. And it could start getting into that rest and digest state so that you could start healing. So step number 3, start to continue to develop an exercise and movement daily routine. I know people say it all the time, exercise, and a lot of times we don't want to do it. We don't. But it's so important that we do have some kind of routine, and it doesn't have to be vigorous exercise. And in fact, if you do not have energy or you're in so much pain, do not do any rigorous exercises. Do not, because that's going to create more stress in your body that your body cannot handle right now. So it's important to listen to your body and meet yourself where you are at. And keep doing it until you become stronger and stronger. Don't ever push through. Don't push through it. Do not beat yourself up. That is not the answer. It is about being gentle on yourself and giving yourself what you need. So the exercise, the movement, it promotes circulation of your lymphatic system. And the lymphatic system cleans out your body, gets all that gunk out of your body that you do not need. But what the thing about the lymphatic system, it does not have its own circulatory system like the heart does for circulating the blood through our bodies. It does not have that. So that's where exercise and movement comes in, or even like they have like plates and vibrate your body. Um, I'll discuss a little bit more about how you can get the lymphatic system moving, because there are other ways that you can promote that lymphatic system from moving. But right now, it's the exercise and movement that I will be talking about, and that really helps get that system moving, getting everything cleaned out of your body, so that your body can focus on healing and work at optimal levels. And it also strengthens your physical body. I find that when I work out, I have less pain in my body, and I'm able to do normal tasks, everyday tasks, a lot easier without struggle. So that is so beneficial. And I was talking about the gentle movements and don't do vigorous exercises if you're not there. For women, we have to work around our cycle, our menstrual cycle. So I believe it's the first and the third week. This is what my doctor told me. The first and third week of your cycle, you should be doing gentle movements, because your body is working hard right now to clean out that lining of your uterus and build it back up. So my doctor described it as it's like you are going through labor every month. All that it's very hard on the body. So working for women, working with your cycle and knowing when you should be doing gentle movements as opposed to a harder workout. So gentle movements is very beneficial as well. Just keeping your body moving in general is so important. Even when you're sick, if you can get out of bed just to move around a little bit and then get back into bed if you need to, it is so beneficial to get everything moving and healing faster. Stretching is so beneficial as well. You're stretching those muscles, letting everything, because when your muscles are all tightened up, it's hard for the blood flow, it's hard for the lymphatic system to get through, to push all that gunk out. That's why massage is very beneficial, because it massages all that out and allows everything to flow nicely. We want that flow and ease within the body. So listen to your body, meet yourself where you are at when it comes to exercise and movement. Not just with that, with everything in your life. Listen to your body and meet yourself where you are at in this very moment. That is key when it comes to your healing. Do not push yourself, because that creates stress and trauma within the body. All right, let's move on to step number 4. Engage in stress-reducing modalities. So find different modalities that helps you reduce stress, and find modalities that resonates with you, because if it doesn't resonate with you, it's not going to work. It's not going to be sustainable. You're not going to keep doing it. So my suggestion is just try something new. Start there. If it doesn't work for you, it does not work for you. It's a learning process. All right, this doesn't work for me, but this part of it I kind of enjoy. So let me move towards this and find something that is towards something that I enjoy doing. So some examples is meditation, yoga, journaling is also helps reduce stress. I like to do Sudoku. That helps me with my stress too, and it's just fun for me. Fun is the antidote to stress. Fun, laughter, happiness is the antidote for stress. So finding that fun is so healing in itself. So when you are stressed, that's the importance of why you should engage in stress reducing modalities is because your body can't focus on healing and repairing itself if it is stressed. When it is stressed, focus on your focus your energy on the area of the body that can get you out of immediate danger, which that's what I was just speaking about, that fight or flight. And so finding these stress reducing modalities help you get out of that fight or flight so that you could be in that rest and digest. Step number 5, we're almost there. Step number 5, focus on meaningful relationships and connection. We human beings are emotional beings. We need connection. We're social beings. We need that connection. And when we are denying ourselves of our basic needs, we cannot fully heal. So we need that positive connection in our lives, or else our health starts to go downhill. So it's not just any connection, it's positive connections. So it's about removing toxic relationships in your life because it's going to shift you into that stress response that I speak of, that fight or flight response, because you do not feel safe. These people create stress in your life. And when you're stressed, you cannot fully heal. Receiving healthy, meaningful connections create a sense of security and safety. When your body feels safe, it will shift from the stress state and allow your body to relax and focus on the healing. I know I'm repeating myself, but I want to make sure that you hear this. A lot of times you have to hear things multiple times for you to really get it, for you to really receive it. Step number 6, deepen your spiritual connection. So I speak about connection, relationships with other people, but you also have to continue to build your spiritual connection with your higher power because it helps your healing process in so many ways. We'll dive deeper into how many different ways that the benefits of spiritual connection in other episodes, but right now I just want to try to keep it simple and try not to give you too much information. Don't want to overwhelm you. But right now, I would like to offer another perspective on spirituality you may not, or you may have considered before. When you know you have someone out there looking over you and keeping you safe, your body starts to feel safe enough to relax and to allow normal bodily functions to happen. You are moving your body into that rest and digest response where your healing begins. So I'm going to say that again. That spiritual connection, when you start having that deep connection and you truly trust in your higher power, truly trust that they're going to support you and look out for you and keep you safe, and you trust them enough to express your needs to them, you start to feel safe. Your body starts to feel safe, your mind starts to feel safe, and you're able to relax. It is so healing to have that deep spiritual connection to your higher power. Thank you so much for showing up for yourself by listening to this episode. This is a safe space for you to heal. I hope this is very helpful for you and helps you start the new year off right and start getting you closer to your best self, closer to your end goal of feeling better. And you can start living your life again to the fullest and be happy and really enjoy your relationships with yourself. Oh, with yourself. It is so important. Your relationships with your family, with your friends, with the people that you meet. I hope nothing but the best for you. And I would love to hear your feedback on this episode. I would love for you to share your story and your successes and start this connection between you and I, this conversation. I would love to hear from you. You could send me a DM on Instagram. I'm on Facebook and TikTok too, but I'm more active on Instagram. So you can send me a DM on Instagram at thermanda.zavala. I'll have the links in the show notes as well if you would like to connect, to send you right over there easily. I would love to hear your thoughts. I look forward to hearing from you and getting to know you. I will leave you with one of my favorite quotes from Art Williams. It's such a favorite quote of mine that I actually have it in my emails when I send emails to my clients. I have it in the email just to remind them. And it's also a reminder for myself as well. So every time I see it, it is a reminder. And this quote is, I'm not telling you it's going to be easy. I'm telling you it is going to be worth it. And that is something that you could keep with you for when you're going through your healing journey, when you're going through that ebb and flow, when you're in that ebb. It's a reminder to yourself that what you're doing right now probably stinks and it sucks and you don't like it. It doesn't feel good. But you know that when you get to the other side of that, because you will, because you're going to continue doing things that support you and your health, when you get to the other side, you're going to know it is so worth it. Everything that you're going through is so worth it. That's why I named this podcast A Woman Worth Healing, because you are a woman worth healing. I hope you move through the rest of your day and week feeling supported, seen, and heard. That is my goal for you with my messages and this podcast, is for you to feel seen and heard and supported so that you can start your healing journey. See you next week.